Brought to you by Mr. Pros TV, streaming from Tempe, Arizona. And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jordan Nielsen here, host of Real Estate Pros on Mr. Pros TV. And today we have a special guest down here in Tucson at Guild Mortgage, and that is Delilah Royce.
Hi.
Did I say that right?
You did, Delilah, exactly.
Of Tucson Real Producers.
Yes.
So thanks for taking time out of your busy day and joining me here
Sure.
on Real Estate Pros so we can talk about real producers. But first, I guess, are you native to Tucson?
No, I'm actually from New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Grew up in New Orleans, graduated from USL in Lafayette, Louisiana, and my husband was in the oil field for several years. When it dumped in the 80s, we moved to Arizona, and we've been in Tucson for like 33, 34 years.
Oh, gotcha. So you've been
So
here
a long time.
for quite some time. So
Yeah.
what are the things that you like about Tucson more than Louisiana?
Well, I miss the food in Louisiana for sure,
Yeah.
but I can cook it here.
That southern cooking.
Yeah. But as far as what I love about Tucson, I love the dry air. It's not humid.
Yeah.
And I've grown to love the mountains and the desert, and I think most importantly, I like the culture in Louisiana. It's a different culture back there. And
Yeah.
although I love it.
You're saying you like the culture here in Tucson?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah, I would say the culture is different here in Tucson than it is in Phoenix. I grew up out, actually kind of by you. I grew up in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Moved out here. But even between Phoenix and Tucson, the people seem a little more friendly down here in Tucson versus Phoenix.
They are. It's a little bit more small town. I mean, just being in this industry, it's amazing how many people know each other, and they went to high school together, and it's definitely small town, a little bit more small town in kind of a bigger city.
Yeah, but like you, I don't miss the humidity so much out in.
No. Not at all. The humidity.
So let's talk about real producers a little bit. So what interested you in, or I guess what's your professional background, and then what kind of interested you in doing the Tucson Real Producers?
So my husband and I own a business here in Tucson. We have for 33 years.
Oh.
We do, there are patty cakes of Tucson. We actually go to people's homes and we make their babies' little hand and foot impressions.
Oh, nice.
And we mold them and bronze them. And then we bronze baby shoes as well. And so we've owned that business for quite a while.
So is the bronzing it's just a mold of the shoe?
It's the actual shoe that we plate. And the way we get the hand and the foot impression is we go to the home and we take an impression in a clay material. And so you kind of push it in like people have done the little plaster of Paris hands for so many years, but we take it a step farther where we pour the mold, and so the hand actually comes up. So it's kind of like almost a 3D impression. You can
Really?
feel all their little lines and their curled little toes. And then we bronze it, so it's protected. They're made to last a lifetime, and we did all our grandkids at hours old.
Oh,
So
really?
It's the stuff you don't remember, when your baby was little. So anyway, we've done patty cakes for a long time. And
So did you guys start that here in Tucson?
We did. Patty Cakes has been around since the 40s, so we kind of have.
Oh, is it like a franchise?
We own Pima County.
Oh, nice.
So we've done that for a long time.
So you guys still do that?
We do. My husband actually still goes out every day to make impressions for families.
That's cool. So
And-
that's probably fun to be out with, or they're probably mostly like newborn.
We do
Newborn
all
age.
ages. I mean, he showed me a little hand of a girl yesterday he did that was 8 years old. Most of the time, they're under about 2, but we do all different ages. But anyway, I was in an automobile accident like 6 years ago, and I had to transition to try to figure out something else I could do. And I worked in a dentist office for a couple of years, decided that was not for me because I was used to being in front of people, talking with them, hearing their stories. And that's the part that I loved about patty cakes. And then I kind of got into selling Cutco closing gifts to realtors.
Nice.
And that's when I had a chance to kind of do what I really loved again, sit down with
You do the
people and hear their
demonstration of cutting
stories.
pennies and stuff like that.
I didn't cut the pennies, but I could have if my hand was strong enough.
Yeah.
The tool works, just you have to be strong enough to do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I sold closing gifts to realtors, and I had a chance to sit down with them and hear their stories. And about a year ago, I was approached by Jenny Vega in Phoenix and asked, did I want to bring real producers to Tucson? And I kind of looked into it, and Tucson Real Producers has been around for about 3 years. It piloted in Indianapolis, Indiana. So we're in about 50 markets across the United States. So the thing I love about it is it's local. You know, we're here telling the stories of agents in our city. And so it's a publication that's about the realtor, because we're telling their stories in our publication, and it's for them. So it's actually distributed to the top 500 realtors here in Tucson. And that's the part that I really liked.
So the thing that realtors find value in the magazine is that they can, you know, I'm sure agents share best practices and different things through their stories. It mostly like, how did you get in real estate, stuff like that. What?
We try to give a broad spectrum of who they are. We want to talk about their family and, you know, where they're from and what their interests are, what propelled them into real estate and why they're doing so well in real estate. So we try to tell the whole story of who they are. And the purpose of it is to kind of connect the top realtors together. Often we hear they work together, you know, but it's all done through text and email. They maybe have never even met or sat down. They don't even know what they look like, or they've never talked on the phone even. And so our goal is to kind of connect the top realtors together to kind of strengthen the realtor community in Tucson. And then also we give our partners, the people that advertise in our publication, an opportunity to develop new relationships with realtors that maybe they've never had a chance to meet, but they wanted to.
Sure. So let's see what these magazines look like.
Okay.
I'm familiar with actually some. I've seen some in Phoenix, and actually I think it's Real Producers that I think they did an event in Phoenix that I saw.
So that's one of the things that we do as well. We do quarterly events where we'll actually invite the top 500. Of course, they all won't come, but if we can get between 60 and 100 realtors in one room to be able to connect, it gives the realtors a chance to have a chance to chat, and then also gives our partners a chance to meet people, like I said, that they wouldn't necessarily have a chance to meet. And so it's kind of a relationship building platform. You know,
Right.
We know that when you advertise in our publication, it's not an immediate response. They're not going to maybe look at your ad and call you right away. But we give you an opportunity to build a relationship. Because honestly, that's how business happens.
Yeah, right.
I mean, in Tucson, we're kind of small town. But all over the country, I mean, when you meet somebody and you talk to them and you get to know them a little bit, that's when it really, you know, you connect. If you do connect, and then you think of them when you need a new home inspector, or your home inspector's so busy, you know, they can't see you for a couple of weeks, then maybe you'll have a chance to reach out because you met that person.
So like if so for example, this one's Spirit, I know who he is. He's like no other agent I've met before, because he's a one, he does everything himself, and he's
very proud of it.
Oh my gosh,
you know,
he's on top of the ball. There's not many agents that I've met like him, but
Yeah.
anyways, how are you seeing that agents are leveraging this? Because obviously, you know, if you're on the cover of a magazine, do they usually just like take a picture of the front and share it out, or can they distribute these to their sphere of influence, or is it all just tailored around real estate agents?
No, so they definitely can. They do share it on Facebook. They put it on their Instagram. They also are able to purchase like a flyer that just has their article in it with their information on the back. So after they're featured, you know, they can order these and give them to their clients at listing appointments, or
Yeah, that's nice. Kind of tells your story
Yeah,
in like a little magazine.
Exactly.
It's like
It's an option for them once they're featured. But one thing that I want people to know is the people that we feature on our publication, they don't pay to be in our publication. They're actually nominated.
Oh, nice.
And so that's how we decide who we're going to feature, is they get nominated either by other realtors, by their managers, by their brokers. And then I reach out to them and I sit down and talk to them. And if I try to see if it's going to be a good fit, and if it is a good fit, then we send out a writer and a photographer. We have some amazing photographers that we work with. Casey James and Joey Ambrose do our photography. And so they get a chance to tell their story.
So so if a real estate agent's like, all right, I'm in the top 500 or whatever here in Tucson, and I want to get nominated to be on the cover of one of these magazines, how does that process look? Do they have to, is there a website people go to where they nominate, or do they just email you? What does the process look like?
Yep. So in my publication, almost every publication, I give people an opportunity. If you know somebody that we should be telling their story, email me and give me their name, and then I reach out to them. But honestly, most of the time it happens when I'm sitting down with another agent. I'm sitting down with you, talking and hearing your story, and then I say, who do you know that has a cool story? Maybe they're giving back to the community, in an impactful way. And give me the names, and then they give me the names of people they think they would want to read about, and then I reach out to them.
And then you said that one piece, that's something that, even if they're not a top producer, if they just want you guys to do a little thing like this for them, how much does something like this cost?
These are provided for people that we feature in our publication.
Oh, gotcha.
So we do an article on a top producer. We also do an article in every one of our publications on a rising star. So maybe somebody that, like Candy Bowen, I saw her
Candy Bowen.
interview, and we're gonna definitely reach out to her. She has a cool story.
Yeah, she does.
And she'd be a fun one to feature. So we do a story on a rising star, and then we always do an extra story. Maybe it's somebody that, like I said, has a specific charity that they're involved in Tucson, or they just have a cool story and we want to share it. They might not even be in the top 500. So once they're actually featured in our publication, that's when they can order the extra promos.
Gotcha.
So you can order like 200.
So basically they can order more for their distribution purposes, for, like you said, listing presentations, or maybe their own specific sphere of influence.
Yeah, or giving it, some people send them out as mailers to their existing clients, just to say, hey, I was featured in a publication, or they give them on a listing appointment.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you said, the nomination process, so it's just like, is it kind of like word of mouth, people who talk to you and stuff like that, and that's how they get in there? It's not like, we go on and vote and see who got the most votes, stuff like that?
Yeah, it's not a voting thing. It's more of somebody telling me about an agent that might have a cool story, and then I reach out to them and hear their story. Like, one thing I loved about Tom is he's so innovative. I mean, he was an airline pilot for so many years, but then he retired, and he was retired for a couple of years, and he said, I hate being retired. I flunked retirement. And so he got out there, and now he has a team of like 9 women with his wife, and he's really innovative. He's putting together like an assistant program where maybe you're a realtor and you're getting so busy and you need an assistant, but you're not really where you could hire one full time. So he has this assistant program that he's putting together. And then he also has a program that he put together that helps older agents who maybe want to take the summer off. And so he says, well, we'll take care of your clients. They'll still be your clients when we're done, but we'll take really good care of them while you're away for 3 months. And then when you come back, they're still your clients. So I love meeting people who are innovative and are having ideas and thinking outside the box and being able to share, what they're thinking, because he can only reach so many people.
Sure.
And this gives them a bigger platform to do that.
Absolutely. So what's something else about the magazine that we didn't discuss here?
One thing that we do that that the agents really love is we publish the standings.
Oh, wow.
So this is a pretty big draw. People are always curious as to, who's
how they
doing what.
stack rank again.
That's right. So we usually do the top 100, the top 125, and we do it year to date by volume. And agents are always looking to see, where am I? And anyway, this is one of the things that is a big draw for our publication, and people really appreciate it.
Definitely. Yeah, I've noticed that as well, because we've done some in the past, and agents are always very curious about.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are very competitive,
They're very competitive. Yep. So I get a little bit of flack from the standings every now and then.
Yeah.
But I'm working on trying to get it perfect.
Yeah. Like,
As perfect as I can. But you can pull them so many different ways, it ends up sometimes being a little, you have to really take into consideration how you're pulling
Like,
it.
that person shouldn't be ahead of me.
Exactly. So the other thing that is really unique about the company that I work for is they are encouraging us every single month to reach out to local nonprofits. And so they give us a half a page in our publication, and we've been able to feature some really cool local nonprofits that are doing some amazing things in our community. Like this month coming up, we're highlighting Teen Challenge. And we highlighted Beads of Courage and Integrative Touch for Kids. And these are all local organizations. And so we feature maybe a fundraiser that they're having in the next couple of months, so we can give them a little bit of exposure. And then we also give them a couple of pages to write an article and talk, more intimately about exactly what their organization does and how they're impacting the kids in the community that's another thing that I love
cool.
about the company that I work with is they're always willing to give back.
Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to talk about on the real producer side, or anything agents-wise? Maybe a message to agents? I mean, agents watch this show, so...
if you know somebody that should be nominated, you'd like to read their story or hear their story, just reach out to me. Delilah Royce. I'm on Facebook, or you can email me, delilah.royce@realproducersmag.com. But I'd love to hear your story. Or if you want to have consistent exposure amongst the top 500 realtors and have an opportunity to come to our events, reach out to me. I'll be glad to share our program with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day,
Yeah,
Delilah.
thank you.
Join me here on Real Estate Pros, and we will see you guys on the next episode.